All right, yeah, good call. Everyone,
Because
we was gonna
look,
have a
I've
real
been
snap and
there
I was
and
gonna be
I've had
pissed off.
lost a really good episode.
No. You're right. We almost look. I almost did something that I was been mad as hell that we didn't have everything set up to record. But welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Needs an Aquarius. Dom, how are you doing?
It's
What do you mean?
we
It's her?
listen. It's only two. Like, first of all, it feels like a Wednesday. It's not.
You're right.
I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed in an underwhelming way, and it's gonna be all right. But I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Man, this is a long weekend. It felt like in general.
It
Or
did.
whatnot.
I long where I felt like not long enough.
Yeah, like, super long weekend. Yeah, it was just long, man. Shout out to I want to give a shout out to the young sister Zoe that stole the car. People really are all about trying to listen and learn about her. It feels like
It's so funny. It's so I like. It's so good. It's like
there's so many
it's
more.
too
Like
good to
somebody,
be true. That's how good the story is.
like I need a real like New York Times. A shout out to y'all. They did a decent article, but I reread it again and watched our clip from it. It's like I need, since they're black, I need like a couple like black questions that I know that the New York Times can't directly ask
Yeah. No.
because it
Seriously,
would just be culturally insensitive and it's the wrong person to be asking.
I like how your black ass like you stole money out your mama purse, girl. What was you thinking? Like, did you think that there was gonna be no repercussions? And this is all because you felt like nobody was paying attention to you. You the baby.
And she was trying to not get caught. Had broke the tablet.
It's more than that. She had just broke the tablet that day, but it wasn't like she broke the tablet. She broke the case.
Yeah, and she was trying to go replace it. But then when she got there, it was like, shit, it's all this other shit here. No, remember she didn't get the right. She couldn't find the size.
Yeah, because she didn't take it with her.
Yeah, but it's just so many but it's so funny because I saw someone put I forgot where I saw the meme. They got her on the thing for Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise fall down a little thing like with the original with the string and he like go right before the bot, but it's her face on him.
That's good. Why didn't you send me that?
Yeah, I gotta find it, and it's like it's her face. And I was like, God. Oh yeah, she is like Inspector Gadget or something.
That's funny.
All right, let's jump into our topics. All right, let's go. Where do you want to go to? Let's see. Let's go with this Megan Thee Stallion documentary first.
Okay.
It's coming on Amazon Prime. I mess with Meg. She's an Aquarius. She could rap her ass off. But man, she ain't need no documentary, man.
I think the documentary will probably won't even necessarily really touch on the incident. It'll probably more so like the aftermath and where she is now, her headspace. I know she has been a very huge advocate for therapy. What has she learned? But it's just
okay, if that's the angle, it's more like what she went through with that. And maybe you know what, maybe this document, like maybe it's not the life documentary, it's just a documentary, which is fine because we've seen that with like the MTV Diaries, and those little small things they would do on like MTV and things along it. So I guess it's not too bad. I mean,
yeah, I think it'll be definitely interesting to see or whatever, because I think it's just, again, probably maybe more of where she is now. Because I mean, at this point, not trying to diminish what happened or anything, I wouldn't live in that space because it could be very, like triggering for her. And I mean, and the hope is to always, like not to allow your trauma to lead your life. Like you don't want to live life through your trauma. So I hope at some point I could imagine, because it was only so many years ago, a couple years ago when this happened. I can imagine that she probably still gets nightmares about whatever happened that night. But it's just like being able to respond and fight back and not let it control you. But I mean, I would be to be honest, I I'm kind of more interested about her prior to all of that.
With her mother passed and stuff like that, you mean?
And her father passing, being raised by her, I'm kind of interested in that. And, I know that her mom used to rap and her mom really used to, kind of help guide and coach her. I'm kind of more interested from that angle too. That could be a good angle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on it. It's just like, man, it's just not. But after we kind of put it in context, you could frame it in a certain way where it's not like, oh yeah, this life story, but more of like what the thing she's actually been through. So I'm gonna fall back on it. Since I talked to you, I've calmed down from it. I've calmed down from my original thought. All right, something else that I don't know if you're gonna be calm from. Hold on. All right, let's see here.
What'd you say? Like, is this something with Chris Brown? What's going on? Oh,
hold on. They ain't give me no sound on this. Hold on. They tripping. All right, we're gonna go to another topic first, because the videos I got that got sound. I got to re-get that sound for that one.
Okay.
So if you ain't watching no video, you ain't even know what he's talking about yet. So,
okay.
But this one is Young Thugger, one of the people in his case. This is the ongoing thing. It may be. I mean, just a long case for no reason. It just seems like it's going forever and ever and ever.
Whoa.
And I don't think it's ever going to be technically solved. Maybe, like I feel like that. That's all I'm saying is I feel like it won't be solved. But
this has been a circus. This has been a circus this entire time.
Yeah.
From the moment that boy got arrested, and everybody else, like even surrounding him, it's just been really. I don't know how this has not been declared a mistrial. Like it should have happened 3 judges ago because they can't even keep a judge on there. So I just can't believe that his attorneys have not pushed for a mistrial.
Oh, they pushing for it. I'm surprised the state ain't won't let it happen.
It's oh my God, it's
appeal. He's gonna be able to appeal this regardless of what happens if he gets convicted because it's just been a circus.
Yeah.
So here it is. Young Thug, one of the people in his case, one is not co-defendants, but someone testifying against him says this.
We was just talking about we was just really talking about Spider, like how Charlotte got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really ups on nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young nigga his age. Charlotte the richest young nigga in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't no nigga having more money than Charlotte, bro. Yeah. Nah, hell no. Like, come on, bro. Nigga ain't having that much more money than Charlotte, bro. Charlotte supposed to be having that shit. Charlotte supposed to be cleaning that shit up, bro. Like, no, man, Charlotte supposed to be cleaning that shit up, bro.
But, like, you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and then got some corny ass niggas him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, we still gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but like,
yeah,
you feel me? Like, man, damn.
That shit ain't right though.
Are you attracted to addicts though?
Well, I had one husband.
So wait, let me make
Go ahead.
Let me make sure I'm understanding this right.
Mm-hmm. It's just they got their phone tap. They got their phone tap. People that may not know.
Somebody wearing a wire.
Yeah, or they tap somebody's phone.
Yeah, they tap somebody's phone or wearing a wire, right?
Okay, now that's funny. Which way do we want to go with this? Because it's even funnier if somebody was amping somebody up to talk bad about somebody else.
Yes. So okay.
Hey, cuz, man, here's my question. Okay, go ahead.
Is YSL, are they a recognized gang in the Atlanta area? It's because when you say recognized gang, it's one thing, you and I, we got our Aquarius gang, so you can only roll with us if you're an Aquarius. You know what I mean? Or is it like the GDs, the Bloods, the Crips? You know, you got the Mexican gang, and you got all these. So is this a certified gang? Because you can't, if you ain't getting jumped in, or whatever, you can't say that, oh, he not putting money back into the streets, he not cleaning up our neighborhoods and all of this stuff. The same rules don't apply. Also, has anybody coached him or spoken to him about this? Like, hey, we a gang. These are the expectations. Like, where are y'all bylaws? Like, the Bloods and Crips got bylaws, my nigga.
No, but
like,
they're supposed to be Bloods, though. They're supposed to be Bloods. They're supposed to be Bloods. Why
do
supposed
the
to be
Bloods
Bloods?
recognize this? Do the Bloods know that they're supposed to be Bloods?
Yes, they do, allegedly. But I mean, after the Bloods left California, it's all kind of herky jerky in general.
He said after the Bloods left California. Okay.
You got people pledging grad chapter and all kind of stuff like that. It kind of changed up. Really, some people claim Mac 10 is the real person that is the person that helped Bloods become popular nationwide. And of course, before somebody jump in the comments, I know the street idea of it being in the jails and all that. It's funny if we to say Mac 10 did it though.
I'll be forgetting about Mac 10.
It is funny to say that Mac 10 did it though. And if you understand, you get it. You're laughing right now because you understand and know how Mac 10 has something to do with it.
I just need them to declare a mistrial for this, and let's move on with our lives, because now y'all wasting tax people's dollars. Like, this is just too much. And I know that they're afraid that, oh, he gonna get out and be free. Okay, if you can tie him to a murder and put him there, or put his people there, okay, let's stick to that. But this other stuff, it is just is the prosecution. This looks crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm thinking about what you said, Dom. Actually, you know what? I think it really was a wire, because I'm thinking about it. Unless they're the dumbest criminals, and there are some like that. Most of the time, cats ain't talking on the phone like that. Yeah,
that
was something that was in person.
Because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Because of that.
So somebody got wouldn't amp somebody else. Like, I know, Lil Toomp.
Yeah, that like he put it on the toy drive.
Hey, he only gave out 20 turkeys. He said he's gonna give out 50.
It just don't make sense.
Yeah, I'm done with this trial, man. Like, y'all, we gotta figure out something else to do with the Young Thug situation, just because it's just long, man. Y'all done made Young Thug look a totally different person now. He's been in court so long.
I know.
He don't even look the same. The man don't even look the same.
He eating good though.
You said what? What you mean?
He eating good. He thicker in the face.
Oh yeah. So what? Some jails, some people can bring you food if you're in not in prison. Supposedly, in some places, you actually have somebody bring you food, so you can have somebody bring you food in.
Oh, okay. I ain't never
allegedly, I've heard of this.
Dude, oh my God! Like, that just gave me. I really want some fried chicken. And I fried chicken like the other day, and I swear I did. And I don't even fry chicken like that. Like, I'm an oven fry type of gal. Mm-hmm. But man, I was like, ooh, that sounds hella good right now. Some fried chicken from Louisiana chicken.
All right, so now I can play my original clip.
Okay.
This one is the original. Some people say he kicked this all off. But was his daughter R. Kelly?
For a long time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. I really feel like that one millisecond completely just changed my whole life.
If my son asks questions, I'm gonna be as truthful as possible. I will not be taking my son to a prison to meet his grandfather.
Ooh. So, people that are just listening on audio, that is R. Kelly's daughter, talking about that. Not only did he, do the things he did to other young ladies, but to her as well, being his daughter. All right, Dom, what?
I just need to know when. Okay, when did him and Drea Kelly get together? Drea Kelly.
I mean, all these kids are adults. If you look at the full documentary trailer,
the two were married from 96 to 09.
Mm-hmm.
And so, damn, it's crazy because, wait, hold on. Okay, so 1 in a Million. No, that's not, no, that wasn't named Back and Forth.
Back and Forth is the first single. I think that's 94, 93, 94.
94.
Yep.
So,
and what's interesting is
obligations was there. We was talking about this, Daryl.
But you also, when you get married and you sign a marriage certificate, you have to declare your other marriages.
Okay.
That means that she would have known that he married Aaliyah. Is my point.
That's so. I mean, unless
you have to list out your other marriages and everything, but they won't think you're being a bigamist. It's called being a bigamist. Like if you're married multiple people, you have to basically disclose when you were married and when you were divorced in the document. Now she may not have been paying attention. Now that may be something because
I don't think he put it in there.
That's something you have to file, to let them know.
I don't think he put it in there.
Oh,
I don't think he did. But also, it wasn't like the rumors were not there and swirling. We all know what we were seeing in 94.
And if it was expunged, allegedly, as they say, then it wouldn't count. You don't need to discuss that. Good point.
I don't think it was there. And but also it wasn't like, these rumors are not, they're not rumors, they're facts.
Mm-hmm.
Have been around since she was around him, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, so you had some sort of idea of your husband, the person that you make dating and marrying, having inappropriate relationships with women that are underage.
Sorry, the precedent set.
And so my question is, what are people gonna say, oh, that's not fair to say, Dom? I'm like, no, this goes back to things being calculated, right? So, I don't know. I know she was like a dancer and things like that and whatnot. But also it's like, in the back of your mind, how could you sit up and date and deal with somebody that's like that? And you add so many risk factors to that when you procreate with people, just on GP. And so just how I told you, everybody wants to blame, Robert Kelly for his interactions surrounding Aaliyah and everybody. But I'm also looking at her family. So I'm looking at you, Drea, like, okay, you laid up with this man, you procreated with this man and had kids, and you knowing that what happened to him, him being molested, the brother being molested, the sister was molesting them, you having an inappropriate relationship with your mother, like come on, like something is not right. And this goes back, somebody gonna say, oh, she wanted money. I don't want to say that, but y'all said it, not me. Am I agreeing with y'all? You'll see a heart or a like on your comment. It's like there's certain people.
You'll see a heart or a like on your comment.
There's certain people, if I'm being honest, that I would never let watch my kids. It's just facts. It doesn't just no. And it goes back to the age old saying, unless you do the work, you did not go through a rehabilitation process to be better, therapy, all these different things that are out there. No, we don't have nothing to talk about. Creep.
No,
That's all
real.
I'm saying.
I mean, the whole.
It's just like like how everybody can't stay the night at you black. You couldn't stay the night at everybody's house.
Hell no, I didn't get to stay a whole night, stay overnight with a whole bunch of people's houses. It wasn't just that. It was a whole bunch of people that I couldn't. And I used to be like, man, I cannot do, man. Oh, everybody gonna be there. And I mean, I'm not saying that there was nothing nefarious going on necessarily. My grandma just wouldn't let me.
Yeah,
but those things probably was better they were for the better for me too, though.
See,
you know what I mean? So I can't even.
It's weird. I'm just, and that's just really sad for her.
Yeah, I mean, but put it like this: if he was willing to do something to all those other young ladies and all those other people, it's not a hard thing to think that it could happen at one day.
And listen, when these stories came out, I'm like, doesn't he have kids? Like remembering that he had kids and wondering what their experience was. So I believe her. Going up to McDonald's, you want a cookie? Like, no, like I just can't get with it. And the people that can't cancel him and that just still want to play his music is just really, really weird. Like the other day, I was on my walk. I started walking, and at the same damn time came on the remix. I used to love that song. I still feel weird knowing what I know. Just like, damn, Puff.
Hey, you know.
You just couldn't behave. You gotta drag bitches down the hallway. You got blowing up people's cars. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh, I can't keep listening to this. I'm gonna have to play the regular version. And it don't go as hard.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch, though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey, man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
I gotta play the radio version.
No, the regular version without the remix.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, mentioning Diddy. Since you done brought him up.
Well, I'm gonna say this before you hit it.
Uh-huh.
I hope his daughter finds healing, and I hope that she's able to release this from her life and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? I have not seen all this. I don't even know if I want to watch this documentary. I think I might be maxed out on surviving R. Kelly documentaries in general. But like you said, I want to give her healing energy of if whatever she's been through. I mean, honestly, this shouldn't be getting out of jail. Period. This is,
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that needs to be it. And if he didn't do it and they trying to amp it up for more bread, oh well. You did it to enough other young ladies. Oh well.
Yeah.
We can't have a carton without some broken eggs. Oh well. All right. Let's get into him. You know who he be.
That's such a terrible photo of him. I'm surprised he used that for that documentary.
What you mean?
Cause his head looks so big. It looked like Megamind.
Oh, shout out to Bobby, our intern. He just tell the story about he only had a sleepover after a tragic incident happened. Have a sleepover.
I saw it. Yeah. That's why I chuckled. I was like, Bobby.
But so there's always something in the world of surviving Diddy, but this one particularly, I want to talk about this. Now, I'm gonna go on my conspiracy bag here too. In two different ways with this. So Diddy puts up a post for his daughter's birthday, Love. All right, her birthday was just coming up on Tuesday today. He comments on his Instagram page, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, baby Love, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, Love, Sean Combs, Daddy loves you." Now it's tagged to another Sean Combs page. Now, I don't understand. It's on the Diddy page, and it says, "From Sean Combs." Now, that means two things. One, I have my theory. At first, I was thinking, hey, man, you ain't got no hubris that you locked up for some stuff right now. You need to lay low. You can just call her, tell her that on the phone or over, you have a collect call from the New York Correctional Facility.
And some of them, they have video calls now.
Right. But then I thought about it. I was like, I bet you that last baby mama has control of that IG. That's what that looks like to me.
It
looks
does.
like that. Because when she an assistant or something too?
I don't know what her relationship was to him, but I told you. I was like, wait a second, what? It sounds like that. So now you're reading it.
And like her kid get the happy birthday shout out. Like, that's weird.
That doesn't even sound like the way that he talked.
Yeah. It's like, okay, or she trying to jam him up even more, have people hate him even more. I don't know which.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I unfollowed Diddy years ago.
Why did you follow him in the first place? Is my first question. Why would you follow Diddy?
Well, on July 20th,
y'all follow Diddy.
Well, okay, so listen to this.
Since '97, I have to get this out. And once again, since '97, I've been preaching like John the Baptist.
I didn't know you in
by myself. Huh?
I didn't know
but
you.
I've been preaching from the mountain. People were saying I was a hater. People saying I didn't know what I was talking about. People was just against me at all times. I was like the crazy person in New York City with a cowbell ringing at the world is finna end, and nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. I've been talking bad about Diddy for almost 30 years, and no one believed me, Dom. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I'm back, y'all. I've been on my soliloquy here, and I was ringing that bell. Okay, and you know.
See.
Shout out to Sleepy, who said that everyone over 50 is not decided to cancel R. Kelly.
I could see that.
Is this the same situation with the other man, with Diddy?
I think so.
Because you was outside when he was outside, and like you remember all the good memories of being around.
Definitely outside when he was outside.
Yeah. And then you remember the feeling that it gave you. But y'all, I was out there ringing this cowbell. Y'all thought I was crazy. Y'all tried to commit me to an insane asylum for all the things, the spiritual things I said about Diddy, not Jaguar right now.
My friends that still follow him. Your brother.
No, I have to talk to him about that. That's an offline thing.
Yep, that's it.
We're not gonna talk about my family members that follow Diddy.
I have 400 and something friends, 465. It says more. 465 people that.
Well, we have to have questions about why they followed him in the first place. That's what we need.
Okay, so I think about it from the perspective of when Instagram first started, right? Okay. So you was just kind of following people to get a feel of the app.
Yeah, and they give you all the suggestions and all that stuff.
Yeah, and so that's how I was following him.
Yeah, I get it. As soon as I saw him pop up, I remember when he popped up when I first got on Instagram. I was like, "Oh hell no!"
And then, but I can't remember exactly why I unfollowed him. But it was years ago, and maybe it was the shit that. But I don't think it was. It might have been the stuff that I was told, because I haven't followed him in years. So who knows what that is? But I'm looking. I'm like, I gotta send you a message. I gotta ask you that. Why?
It's the following is a different thing. It may not be picked up in your algorithm. You forgot to unfollow, so that could be the case. But someone liking something is different. That's a different thing. That means the diddler is in your algorithm.
4 people that's pop up at the top
that liked it.
Yes.
Those are 4 people that have issues, and they need an intervention. Because
one of them, before this happened, we were supposed to do a podcast together, because we had a conversation about if this is when that new baby came about, and when he was dating Carisha or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, if anything, I would want to be on the, like, because the rumor was that he was giving her an allowance of $250,000 a month, which she goes on to say later down, like sometime even like either last year or this year, that wasn't true. And so I was like, I wouldn't want to be a baby mother to somebody, because I want to be able to leave, like have my free will, and to leave. And if I'm done with you, I want to be done. And I don't want to have this child that still ties me to you. And so some people don't look at the bigger picture. It was like, because she was like, oh, well, like that's like a guarantee, like bag or whatever. Because, Diddy looks out for his baby mamas. I was like, well, not when motherfucking Misa was almost homeless.
Ooh.
I said, I don't think that's necessary. Like he'll, if anything, he'll take the kid from you and raise your kid. Like he'll do that, but I can't necessarily confirm that to be true. And so, so that's interesting. That's funny. Now I'm looking at people crazy shit.
I mean, look at this point, and I'm bringing up another topic, and I'm going to play this video here. Why are you doing that to me? Okay. Hold on, y'all. I have to produce. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, sometimes y'all just gotta bear with me. Huh?
It's 32 minutes. Write that down.
Yeah, right. I know. All right. 32 minutes. I need to cut out some of that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't want that MP. All right, hold on.
Hey, Beyonce, you think you slipped infringing upon my business? Why you release a candle? Stay in your lane. Hair. Hair and care. Stay over there.
I mean, she trying to get in everybody's business.
Man. It's $120 for a candle. I don't want to hear none of y'all mouth. What size is this? Only 8, and it's 8 ounces. I don't want to hear a word about my little $35, $40 candle. Okay? All right.
Hold on. Don't tell me anything blocking me from getting this video. I'd be damned if they do. Well, y'all gonna let me get this. All right, there we go. All right, I got it now. All right, I'll cut that all out. Bob. If you just get that timestamp for me, and
I'm gonna text to you. 32.
All right. So I'm gonna start back up now. All right, is this whole thing about Obama saying what he said about to black men about supporting Trump. So I'm gonna play the clip here and then we can discuss real quick. I know I'm kind of off the cuff with it, but super interested in this. I forgot about it until we start talking.
Thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down? That's not acceptable.
All right. People took that personal, that Obama was coming at black men saying that because of their support for or lack of support for Kamala and support for Trump. Kamala, yes, because people been getting on me. Kamala, sorry. And it's not that I want to diss this, is me just being Freudian, because I have a whole episode called Stomping for Kamala already that we did previously. But what do you think about this, Dom? Like people being upset about it. I said it again, didn't I? I said it again, didn't I? I did it again. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just gonna call it president. I'm just gonna call Vice President Harris now from now on. That's why I won't forget. There we go. Because I just can't pronounce it correct, and this has been an issue of mine. But keep going. That's neither here nor there.
You gonna get there, baby steps. I think the conversation that he's trying to have, and he still said it in a tactful way, is this conversation from the moment she was even on the ballot for Joe Biden, right? That has been this ongoing narrative about what Kamala has done, what has not happened, and what are the streets saying, because somebody didn't want to read, halfway read something and ran with it and has been pumping it into our community. Mm-hmm. So a prime example of that is that clip that we just saw of what's happening in court with Young Thug, right? We still don't know this to be true about Young Thug, right? But we do know what is to be true about Kamala. And the record shows she's done more, things that are for our people and looking out, making sure, hey, you went to detention center or you went to jail, whatever. Let's get you your, GED. Let's get you, or your diploma equivalent, whatever. Let's get you in college. Let's get you in that. So there's this misconception that she's not for Black people, more so particularly Black men, because she is with a white guy. And we have to stop that trope. And I think what's unfortunate about this is it's literally what Donald Trump said. And I'm seeing, not Donald Trump, Obama said to Black men regarding Donald Trump. And I think that in general, especially Black men that have a lot of money, like a level of wealth, they do lean more toward the Republican ballot just strictly based on taxes alone, right? Mm-hmm. And ultimately, I think the bigger conversation that needs to happen here, that I know that Barack Obama can't really say, is like, okay, so what is y'all deal when it comes to women? More so particularly Black women. Because the amount of posts, the amount of people that I have either unfollowed, the amount of people that I've muted, we can have different political stances. Mm-hmm. But when you're not spewing, when it's hate speech, it's different. And so that's how I'm looking at a lot of people, crazy. Like we don't have to agree on everything. That will make our friendship boring. So I'm okay with people having different political views and standpoints. Now, do I think those standpoints can be a little bit detrimental to our society? Yes. But you got to do you at the end of the day. And if that helps you sleep at night, then by all means, go ahead. But I know that I did my part to fight for, the freedom for women, you know, more so particularly like especially rallying behind someone that looks like me. This is unprecedented what we're experiencing. And it's not, oh, this is some popularity contest or anything. I think the conversation that really needs to happen is what's beef? Because a lot of, again, the comments are hate speech. And
but also, Dom, I think most of that stuff, that's not the majority of black men.
I don't
most
think.
black
Oh
men
no,
are
no,
not.
no, no. He's not even. He's not speaking to the majority. It's a certain. It's a percentage. We'll see. We'll see on Super Tuesday what that exact number will be.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. Like I think
more.
it's going to be one of those weird things that happen where people. I think the scary part about, or it's not even that it's scary, will be how we always see when it comes to white women and voting and how women.
Oh, that's the thing. It's not going to be black men that.
It will never be the black vote because they outnumber us.
But we can't be a block though. We can't be a block as black people on and like make.
But they outnumber us, and then you have to think about so many things that are stacked against us, even just trying to get to the polls to just even vote.
One of my questions is though, just in general, from what you just said, is everything that they say about Vice President Harris.
You was almost there because you said come.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do it again, so I wasn't sure. I just didn't want to mess it up again because I'm in the middle of flowing. Is all the criticism they have of Vice President Harris, they don't hold Trump to the same standard of criticism. That's my only thing. Now, if you don't like her policies, I'm cool with that. But are you it seems to me you're not holding that other man up to the same standards of what you're doing with her. Absolutely. You want to talk about like, oh, she done messed with all these dudes and did all this, but Trump got 4 baby mamas and been married all the time and literally just got indicted for being with a porn star, indicted and convicted for moving money around with it. It's just, I'm just saying, let's just keep it on.
And so we're clear, people. He did not get indicted for cheating. It was the money. So before y'all come and say, well.
But I mean, if you wouldn't have been cheating, you wouldn't have got jammed up.
I mean, hey, easier said than done. But, you know,
true. But I just want it to be all equal.
But I agree with you. I do agree that, but in hindsight, that is life for us in general and people that look like us, Daryl. Yeah. That is always going to be the standard. Susie Q and Bob. Sorry, Bobby. Bob. They get to kind of just skate by and provide the bare minimum, and we always have to go above and beyond and be to be the exception, to not be stereotyped and all these things, and to be categorized a certain way, and it still happens to us. So regardless of, just like in the debates and all this stuff, like all the things that he was saying, she could not get up there and say, well, I got an idea about a plan. She has to lay it out. And y'all got people saying, he won that election. And I'm like, were we watching the same thing? This is crazy. And so I think whatever this trope is amongst our people, men and women, however you identify, whatever it is, y'all gotta let it go.
Well, no. This is the thing, though, too, is that the problem. There is a percentage of issue within the Democrat side that let this persist because of maybe the lack of care or the perceived lack of care for Black people, and that us only voting for Democrats and right or wrong, being in the same exact position, people believe that we haven't progressed as much. That's right or wrong. That some ways you could look at it and say we have progressed. Other people say we ain't progressed, and we've been grown Democrats. So let's do something different. That's where I think that small circle comes in, because let's keep it. It's a complete.
I can guarantee you that the policies and stuff, the way that they.
But people perceive. I said perception.
here's the thing is that, like, but I think if I'm not mistaken, black people notoriously used to vote Republican back in the day.
Well, yeah, because of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, because of Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
And so since then, we've seen that a lot of the policies that they put in play don't benefit us at all.
Right,
and
but that's the thing. I said perceived. I think Democrats don't champion the things they've actually done as much as Republicans champion the things that Democrats did wrong.
Yeah, and so, but that's the thing that goes back. That's a PR. That's
right. But that's a Democrat problem. though. They haven't done that. They all, the trope of like welfare. Republicans hit on that hard, even though they sure enough didn't care about bringing black men out the homes either. But they love to bring that up about Democrats. More about in all those different. I'm just giving that as one example.
Yeah.
But there's so many different other things that black people were able to succeed on during Democratic policies than Republican policies. But the Democrats don't display that well enough and don't hit those points.
Yeah.
And because the expectation is we don't need to do that. Y'all already gonna vote for us. That's what I mean. That's my whole point. Is that they don't think they have to earn that vote sometimes. Even though they've done more. Like, I mean, factually, they have done more.
But then that goes back to either like someone like they need to get really good publicists to step in and be like, okay, this is where y'all
because the Republicans, they just got their whole new PR where they would like facts. Basically, they knew PR was facts don't matter. It's about how we get things to the market.
But that's been the Republicans' story. That's been their.
No, that's a newer thing. They started that in the 80s.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like since we've been alive, that's been their MO, and so it's not even shocking anymore. And it's just like, okay, they live in a space of, they thrive in a space of delusion, and it's working for them. So because they know, like a lot of the people that vote for them are in Cuba, Missouri. Like these small
Missouri is actual town. It's an actual town.
It's really
you can't vote in Cuba. It's Cuba, Missouri is an actual town. She's just making a point.
So places like that. So they're hitting because they already know there's going to be a certain person in the tax bracket that's just automatically just vote red because of taxes and all these different things alone. But they're getting people in these poor places, these small ass towns where the church is the infrastructure or whatever. And don't forget, guys, we have separation of church and state. And so, but they have been using the church to fuel their campaign and run their campaigns for a long time now. And nobody ever speaks up and calls that out. Like, why do you feel like the church and men should have autonomy over the female body? Like, that's fucking weird, bro. And then the numbers show time and time again where y'all think it is black women that are using abortions like it's birth control. It's not. We're such a small percentage of that number.
With Bryce Young outside of the football field.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was like, what happened?
The video I was trying to pull up came up in the background.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just about to be interesting, to say the least, for sure.
Well, this is another part of it is too is that if you read the book Freakonomics, they describe how actually abortion decreased crime in America.
Oh wow! How?
There's a direct correlation between because
like they were wives or whatever or girlfriends.
No. It's the fact that unwanted pregnancies didn't happen within the community.
Oh.
So if you think about it, the 80s and 90s were the highest levels of crime. Roe versus Wade, I believe, is. Let me see. Let me make sure here. It's 73. So all right, you got to think before 73, people could not do that. So fast forward when crime, someone's born in 71, they are in 91. How are they? 20, 21.
Yeah,
crime is higher because there's unwanted pregnancies.
Okay,
and crime goes down because more. They directly correlated that with the amount of people like, oh, I don't have this kid. I'm forced to have this child. Now I'm gonna be neglectful. They're gonna grow up in a worse position. Maybe I'm not saying children aren't, but it was less children actually growing up in poverty or situations where they were unwanted.
Damn. Yeah, no, but it makes perfectly good sense.
But they don't talk about that part. It's not because of the black people they care about the abortion. They care about it because of white infertility and white birth rates being down. That's the only reason. Unless they're like some super religious person, Catholicism has always believed in that. But the general person only believes in that because our numbers are down. West Virginia, I believe, has a negative birth rate right now.
And then, but that goes back to which I'm gonna have to do a podcast about this. But women also not having to rely on men like that anymore.
Yep.
And not being in situations that don't serve us. Like, a lot of women are able to move away and do all these other things. Now, I'm not saying that these men are not following them, like, and trying to harm them. But like a lot of women, back in the day, like our grandmothers and stuff were in situationships, and, your grandpa got a family across town and you really couldn't do nothing because you could not sustain on your own. Women couldn't open bank accounts to win like the 70s or 80s.
60s, late 60s, I believe. 60s, okay. Depending on your state. Depending on how your state wanted that. I'll just say that because somebody like California, they was always letting women have it, but in Alabama, maybe not. So depending on how your state was acting.
Yeah. So ultimately, there's so many key factors here. And, a lot of people are figuring out that I don't want to have a kid. I want to be able to do this. I have friends that don't have a maternal bone in their body. That was like, I don't dream of having children or anything like that. And meanwhile, I'm over here like, I don't dream of labor. And the sense of but I mean, we'll see, because there will for sure, once the poll numbers come out, regardless of what happens, there's a dialogue that's gonna have to take place. That's all.
So okay, so there were for states that there was half most of the states that have negative birth rates. I'm gonna see if you see a consistency amongst these. Alabama, Delaware, Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi, South Carolina, and West Virginia.
Isn't Mississippi like the poorest state in the country?
All those are poor states except for Delaware, Florida.
Yeah.
And higher levels of poor white people as well.
Yeah. Anybody got time for that?
Then some in the Northeast are Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Is it what is that one of those have in common? There you go. New Mexico for the West Coast have decreasing since 2023. Between 2020 and 2023 had decreasing for all 4 periods of natural birth rates. They were so technically their population was decreasing in those states naturally because of lack of births.
Okay.
So, all right, let's talk about your boy Ant-Man and the Starting 5 documentary. Starting 5 documentary. I've only watched 2 episodes. We only got to talk about just a little bit since I've seen it all. Pretty decent documentary so far. Shout out to my boy Dan Trail who came in town. We watched the first 2 episodes together. And one of the things we said was he asked me, and we won't talk about it too much because it's too much St. Louis business. Hey man, why they be acting like Jason Tatum daddy don't be in his life? That's his direct question to me.
Yo, it's interesting because like low key,
everybody in St. Louis,
Jason Tatum daddy look like Keion. Because when I first saw a picture of his daddy, I was like, oh, he kind of look like
they don't like Keion.
Yes, he do. He look like Keion. And I ain't gonna talk too much about it because
but that's like it's St. Louis business.
Yeah, I know, and see,
no, that's not true at all. And see, that's what I'm saying about.
And see, I got close ties to his family, so don't know.
Right.
So I don't know what that's about, but I ultimately it's weird. It's really interesting. And I always saw pictures of him with his dad, or like, because I know he was taking him to like basketball camps and all these different things and all this stuff. So it's really weird. But it's also, again, that trope, because that is the stereotypical thing that happens in the league, where it's like this, because technically,
I will say in the documentary they did show his dad a lot more than they normally have in the starting five. They did show him in there a lot and had him interviewed and everything.
But also, I think it's from that perspective, because at one point it was just him and his mom. Like, it wasn't like his daddy wasn't there. They were no longer together. So she was a single mother. It was them. It was, so that's how I perceived what he was saying.
I'm just getting Bobby in for more context and stuff.
Yeah.
They really amped up. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. That's too much St. Louis business.
I don't know if it was since she was 8 though.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No. I'll tell you why. Offline.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
But overall, the documentary was good. Was cool. It's cool so far. It's chill, man. Ant-Man lives in a frat house.
So,
it's just him and 7 of his boys. Just
so
living all
so his behavior makes sense offline, huh?
Yeah, man. Because it's like 8.
You got 8 kids. You done had 4 kids in the past year. And then don't forget about the abortion that we talked about.
So that's 5. Damn.
I know. Okay, this sounds crazy as hell, what I'm about to say. Because y'all are gonna say that I am not. People could take. They're gonna say, "Oh, you were wishing an injury." No.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
No. Life move comes at you so freaking fast.
Before you go into that, I do want to say Ant-Man is a dog though, and it shows how much he knows about the game though. Like that, how much.
I thought you said he got a dog. I was like, okay,
he's got that dog in him.
Oh, I can believe that. He look like a nigga on the north side. I believe it. Ant looks like he grew up on the north side of St. Louis.
He do.
So, with that being said,
he look like he went to Sumner.
His sexual actions, his behavior also mirrors a nigga from the north side of St. Louis.
Hold on, I gotta see where his parents from. I gotta see now. Now you finna make me see. Hold on, where is Ant-Man family from?
Just like Sexy Red, when I first saw her, I was like, oh shit, she like from the north side.
Hold on.
I look like I'm from the west side.
Oh, his mother passed away in 2015. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And his grandmother passed right after that. Wow.
Yep. So he was like raised by his grandfather.
No, his father raised Roger Caruth.
No, I thought it was something with the granddad. But
no. Okay, Edward's father was reportedly Roger Caruth, a talented basketball player who gave Edwards the nickname Ant-Man. Caruth was not involved in Edwards' life. Dang.
I told you. I remember that because I saw it was something on. It was something I think like
His
on.
older brother raised him.
It was something I saw. I have League Pass.
Yeah.
So like they would have like these like short stories about, and I feel like there might be one about Jason Tatum, and I feel like it is him and Deuce.
So his mom and his brother, his brother and sister raised him. Antoine and Antoinette, they must be twins.
So, but it was something about I do remember the grandmother and the mother passing, but then I thought their grandfather was around. So, yeah. Anyway, I need people to start thinking long term. You just thinking about the right now and what feels good to you. And if you do that, that's cool. But be responsible. Because this goes back to what we was kind of talking about with Cam Newton and the broken home thing. And I just think long term when it comes to a lot of that stuff. Because if something would have happened to you, your expectation is the expectation and the standard is that you are going to still have duties to fulfill to these children, obligations, which kids cost money. You got a kid, I got a dog, and that shit expensive.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, like, think different. That's such a I don't even know where y'all get that filth from, but.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about it more. You got to watch some of it. I'm gonna watch some of it too.
Okay, I'll watch the episode.
But and the LeBron stuff is interesting too. Gives a little bit more into his lifestyle, family, a little bit very curated. I will say that for LeBron, which I wouldn't expect no differently. But Jimmy Butler is my favorite person so far on there. Like Jimmy Butler don't be caring. He plays dominoes every day with his dad. His dad lives with him and they play dominoes every day.
I just saw a story or something. Maybe he's in Architecture Digest. I could maybe.
To my Jimmy Butler's dad?
No, Jimmy Butler. And then like it's like a house tour or whatever. It was something like that. I think it was Architecture Digest. I would say this: he's genuine. Like there's some people. You know how people could just be like an asshole, but Jimmy Butler is genuinely a nice person.
Yeah.
And I always say that he was so kind and nice. Funny as hell. But he was
very
so
funny.
Nice
He's trolling. He's steady trolling.
Yeah, I should listen. We're gonna have to do a segment of who Down met when she was working at Saks or just randomly walking down the street.
At Saks.
Because Jimmy Butler was not my customer.
Oh, well, let's tell the story now. This is a
Jimmy Butler was not my customer. We can end on this. Jimmy Butler, because I'm hungry. I made chili. Jimmy Butler was.
We got one more. We got one more. We got the Keion right after this. That's it. Keep going.
The who?
The Keion Henderson story. The Papua people.
Okay, I don't remember.
It ain't that long. Keep going. Let's tell your story. You messing up my future clip.
Okay, sorry. So I'm coming back from lunch break, and Jimmy Butler I'm not even paying attention. Like I'm coming back from lunch, so I gotta clock in. So as I'm going into the stock room, somebody says, psst, psst, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I look, and it's Jimmy Butler, and I'm like, how can I help you, Jimmy? I don't know him. So I just be talking to people like I know them. I love that about me, though. So he says, hey, let me get your discount. Or how much is your discount? And I'm like, nigga, you're not even my customer. I was like, see, that's what I be talking about. I said, who helping you? I was like, you ain't gonna ask the white boy for their discount. He's like, I'll pay you for it. I was like, you can pay my rent or something. He's like, all right, well, bet how much you get off? I was like, oh, I get 40 off. And then sometimes if we have a sale, like it'll fluctuate, whatever. But I get. Actually, no, I think we might have they changed it. I think we had got up getting 60 off. So I was like, all right, cool. You pay my rent for the summer. And he was like, well, how much is your rent? So I tell him how much my rent was at that time, like at least my portion when my cousin lived here. And so he was like, oh, that's nothing. And I'm like, okay, so you gonna pay my rent this summer? What we doing? Like, I might risk my job to get my rent paid.
Yeah, for 3 months I could figure it out.
Right. I'm like, just at least I know. And so yeah, we ended up not doing that, but he was just really funny. That's like, it's always the black people. I was like, you ain't gonna ask them white people for nothing. I'll say who he was with offline.
Ooh.
So
ooh. All right, last up. This one has been like having people, and it's his. I didn't even know that many people would disagree. I mean, what was like people were really battling over this. This is Pastor Keion Henderson, Shawnee Henderson's husband.
Oh,
and he's talking about, not giving to the poor. Oh, wrong thing.
That's God trying to tell you something. He said, "Let it go."
No, God, like, I need my chicks. Hold on, here we go.
Multiplication. Here's the other problem with the church is that anytime a person is in need, y'all go to running and dropping money. But let me tell you something, the poor will be with you always. And there is no blessing connected to blessing the poor other than getting back what you gave to them, but no multiplication. Multiplication is segregated for tithes and offering. When you give to the poor, the only thing you do is help them, but you don't help yourself. So when you give $1 to somebody on the street talking about I did my job, God like, thank you, but it ain't gonna help you. Bible. Charity does not bring wealth. What? Only the tithe does that. Matter of fact, you don't believe me? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna preach on it.
Done. Your facial expressions throughout. If you're not watching the video, you can't see Dom's facial expressions.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about him, but I know where my guy hung out at, and I know who he hung out with, back in the day. And so but see, that speaks to how people have issues.
It goes back to when we talked about him before with that woman that was tripping. Remember we talked about that? Like, it's a way you could have talked to that woman or whatever. And people are like, no, she been tripping for a while. Oh no, this dude is on something else though, potentially.
But that's pastor mentality. It's the level of ego that lives there because they feel like they are God. And I think that at some level, I think we all like Mary, God in me. So we are God.
Yes.
But it's like, or God body, however you want to phrase that. But it's also a level of ego that should not exist with that because you are a God. Like, I just don't understand. It just helped me. But also it's like, you're telling me that I should be tithing and not giving my money to the poor because my money won't multiply, but you just bless somebody. And when you bless somebody,
I think what I've seen people say, like, for their thing is that if you tithe to the church and the church benefits, you benefit because it's your church. So let's say, the Ever Forsaken Building Fund, we actually get that basketball built.
That's what I was headed there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I ain't gonna put my church business, my church back.
Don't do that. We know everybody got that building.
But I've seen situations where it's like, like the church, like it could be somebody down bad, but you want me to tithe, and me tithing 10% of whatever my paycheck is, that can make it break whether or not I can pay my rent or do this or do that. And then you talking about, oh, don't give to the poor, don't bless the poor, don't do whatever. And I was like, I don't think that's how that works, sir. So I think you have gotten so far up in your pulpit that you forgot how Jesus was friends with people that were poor. He was friends with the whores. Like it's wild to me when I hear people that are in the clergy say things like that, and it's like ultimately that money also goes back to you, and you standing up there with a tacky ass outfit on and a vest and a a red vest and a fucking white and black shirt with designs on it, looking like look like you went shopping with the poor, my nigga. What are you even talking about? Like, oh, is this gonna stick? No, dude, it's not. And what you were saying is absolutely wrong. Because at the end of the day, me blessing somebody that's less fortunate than me, at somewhere, I'm gonna reap my reward. I'm gonna get my blessing.
And even though it may not even, and it don't even matter to me. I just did better for somebody else. It don't even matter if I don't multiply it. I
don't care. I had it, so I gave it. That would be like me saying, you know what's happening in my house, where I was like, oh, I'm not looking out for you because
or you ain't got no bread, so you know it's not gonna multiply for me by helping you. That's what basically, and I know
that's what I'm saying. I was like, but that goes back to what we are. This is the Aquarius in us when it comes to humanity and caring and being a help to others. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, you sound crazy and dumb as hell. And that's why you had so many groans in that audience. You had one person kind of clap, but it was like a.
But no, that's my thing. Like, why were all these people clapping in general? Like,
no, it wasn't a lot of people. See, but once he said you need to give it to the church, you saw how though that it got scattered and weird. I've seen people sit in church, be abused and abused by the church, and I ain't did nothing for them people that really needed the help. Like, so I don't know all the ins and outs of the affairs at, for example, Friendly Temple. Guys, Friendly Temple is this church back in St. Louis on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And ultimately they started at one church that that was across the street, and then would evolve. People would tithe and pour enough into the church, like you said, the building fund, and they can expand. On this area is they have a stretch of Martin Luther King. They have a nursing home. They have or assistant living apartments or whatever it is. They got children's church and the old church, all these different things that they're pouring into the neighborhood. And that's how it's supposed to be, about community being able to multiply and pour back into your surroundings, something that Young Thug is not doing apparently. Right. So, but you see a lot of churches kind of collapse, mine included, because they don't know what that's like to pour and give back into the surrounding areas. Think about a lot of the Black churches, like a lot of the prominent Black churches, they're not in wealthy neighborhoods.
No, they're not.
And so if you're not feeding into your community, it's all going to dissipate.
Because the property value, think about, even if you talk about just financially, the property value and things like that around your area is going to decrease, and it'll hurt the church overall anyway.
Yeah.
Because you'll have more break-ins around there. So then I ain't trying to go all the way down to the hood for my church. I'm not going to that church. I'm changing churches for I could be here. So now this church is losing membership because of the particular things on the outside of the neighborhoods.
Yeah. And so I think that's just such a wild thing to say.
Yeah. And he's sitting there and I'm assuming the designer clothes he got on, right? Weren't the designer clothes he had on?
I don't. What they were ugly, and just because it's designer, don't make it cute either. Y'all niggas gotta learn the difference between that. Oh, just because it say Gucci, Versace, Balenciaga, nobody cares. It's ugly. It's ugly.
That's one of our problems. I don't even know if it's necessarily us as Western culture or American capitalism. The idea that you thought you was gonna get that Jack to walk by saying that to try to get people to tithe more, maybe, or to get a reaction, because it's even more insidious if he was doing it just to get a reaction. I'm wondering if
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of, because his clips every once in a while we go, and I feel like it's clickbait, and then it gets people.
Because didn't he like spit on somebody's hand and then like wipe their face with the spit or something?
I don't remember what he did, but I can guarantee you, I'd be interested to go to see the views of that sermon.
Yeah, I mean, I shout out to his brother.
That's just like how he didn't want to Like the whole thing. Didn't the hurricane hit that church or something?
That was Joel Osteen. He ain't been the same since then.
No. Something just happened with that church.
Oh,
Johnny
okay.
Husband was just in the news a couple of weeks ago.
Because where's that church at? Pastor Keion. Let's see. Where is this church at? Is it LA? Or is it somewhere?
I don't think that church out here.
Houston. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Okay. He's in Houston.
So I don't know what the hell going on, but all I know is that he full of shit, and it's kind of like messed up. Just the way that people treat people that don't have as much as them. Like why this is why we have the homeless issue, and then y'all keep trying to create plans and all this stuff to like try to combat that, but then y'all be funneling the money somewhere else, being greedy and not helping them, as if a lot of them, like, I don't think people actually choose to be homeless. Like, there are people, like, we're in America, everybody's one, a lot of people are one paycheck away from being homeless.
100%.
And so to not give to the poor, to not look out for the poor, I don't think, like, a lot of them have like mental health issues. And things happen. And it was just a really tacky, classless thing. What Destiny Child used to say on Nasty Girl, using nasty, trashy, sleazy, classless. That's what that was, that statement. Filthy, disgusting, nasty.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't have any issues with that brother, in general, but that just was tacky. It just wasn't tacky, and just, yeah, it was just not soundly put. It makes you look like a sucker, Keion. I'm not going to even front here. I'm not going to mince my words. It makes you like a sucker, man, because because I want to know how much you're doing for the actual community around you, and I do not know.
Listen, I'm gonna say this now. I want him to be audited. Audit what he doing with the church fund.
Hey, you
appropriating the money. I said what I said and standing on that.
Oh, where can
I'm going to eat my chili now.
Where can people hit you up, Tom?
St. Angeles. You misappropriating y'all funds. Let's find out how long he been a pastor, where he go to seminary. Ooh. Who was in his inner circle? Audit him.
Ooh, audit. Ooh. Hey, you know them internet streets is probably on this.
We'll probably have an update next week. He'll be if the church not gonna audit him, the
streets will.
The streets will.
Street auditing. Damn, that's it. Street auditing. Oh man.
Y'all can find me at St. Angeles. Continue to subscribe to my YouTube.
All right. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back next week as always. Peace.